Welcome into MJT Football. I am Tony Tucker. If you are new to this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hanging out with us. If you're listening to us on the podcast form, we're talking C.J. Stroud after 470 yards, 5 TD performance, big-time comeback victory for the Texans. I felt like the Bucs and their fans especially had to feel like we're going to win this game so many times. And C.J. Stroud just kept slinging the rock. Big performances from Tank Dell and Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz, Nico Collins out there making plays. The run game still non-existent, but C.J. Stroud is like, what do you need a run game for when you got a rocket? When you're just back there just dropping big old nuggets the entire game. Joe, I know you love C.J. Stroud and you want him to be a Raider, but he's not. He's still got love for C.J.
I do. I have a lot of love for C.J. Stroud. As you know, Tony, I always pick the best quarterbacks in the draft, and sometimes it's not always the popular pick. But C.J. Stroud was somebody I was rooting for the Raiders to get, hoping to trade up and get him. And, you know, it was nice to hear that they actually were trying to. But, I mean, he's showing everything. Like, the Ohio State quarterbacks, the trend, can we just say it's over now? Like, he's bucked that Ohio State trend. And like you talked about, Tony, the 470 yards, the 5 touchdowns, that's not it. 71% completion percentage this last weekend. 71%. That's unbelievable, Tony. And that's off of another game against the Panthers the week before where he had 66%. Like, they're putting him in the great situation down there. And I was thinking this, Tony, and maybe I was wrong. I was thinking this last night to myself, and because sometimes I just get in my own head. I'm sure you do the same thing, and everybody else who listens to us does the same thing. And I was like, okay, if C.J. Stroud went to the Raiders, if C.J. Stroud would have been drafted by the Panthers or somebody else, would he be still putting up these kind of, Tony, I'm sorry to say it, this is MVP type numbers from a rookie quarterback. This is an MVP type season that we're looking at him. He's 14 touchdowns, 1 interception on a rookie. Didn't Peyton Manning throw 30 interceptions like quick in his career? Like, this is amazing numbers from a quarterback like this. But like I was saying, if he would have went to any other team, I don't see him doing this. This is just a great system, an offensive coordinator and a team that goes, hey, we're bringing this young quarterback in and we're giving him every aspect and we're going to find what works for him. And I love everything that the Houston Texans have done this year, but C.J. Stroud is standing out big time for me.
Yeah, shout out to Bobby Slowick, who we brought over from the 49ers, right? And I think that the one thing that we're seeing that's similar is that they're not asking him to do a ton. Like, it really felt like they kind of opened things up a little bit more for him in the past couple of weeks. And it didn't look really great against the Falcons. It didn't really look great against the Panthers. I think it was the Falcons. I might be forgetting who it was against. But like, when I watch CJ, he just is so confident and calm. It's everything that you want from your quarterback. Leading the league in like lowest interception percentage, whatever that stat is there. It's a stat you want to be the leader, and I'll tell you that, especially when you're putting 14 TDs so far this year. But I think we're seeing what's similar in San Francisco that works is finding ways to get your playmakers to excel, right? Where it's like they might not be the elite weapons at what they do, but how are we getting Tank Dell into advantageous spots? How are we getting the best out of Nico Collins? Where a lot of people were calling this guy a bust, and now it looks like Nico's got a real chance to go out and get paid. We were talking about which wide receivers were going to be out there at the top of the market, where it was like, you're looking at Brandon Ayuk, you're looking at T. Higgins. We need to put Nico Collins' name into the market. And what if they went out, since he's on a rookie deal, and they bring in Brandon Ayuk to this, who has the ties from the 49ers, and now all of a sudden you're looking at Tank Dell and Dalton Schultz and Nico Collins and Brandon Ayuk. We're looking at year 2 as this being a offense that's incredible and real, MVP buzz to start the season for C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, and over 2,000 yards already, right, in the 8 games. So what do they have? They have 8 games left, 9 games
Nine
left.
games left.
And if he can double these stats, so he finishes with 28 touchdowns, 2 interceptions is what he's on pace for, right? And another over 4,000 yards. I don't know how you're not looking at this. I mean, rookie of the year, lock it up already. Give it to him already. He's already got that. It's just what else can he stack on top of that? And Tony, it's not like Houston, the AFC is down, so I don't know where they are, but they're not out of the playoff race. They're right here with the AFC. I can look it up real quick of where we're looking at on the for the conference of the AFC, but they're knocking on the door of the playoffs too. If you think about it, because they're 4-4, so that would put them. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, so that's the spot I was going to go to. Do you think this team can make the playoffs? And this is the thing I think is the most impressive thing about what the Texans are doing. They beat the Jaguars. They're a division leader. They beat the Steelers, who were at one point this season a division leader, and they're in the playoff hunt. They beat the Saints, who are a division leader. Like, they just beat the Buccaneers in comeback fashion. All 4 of their wins have been impressive. They played a close game where they probably should have beat the Falcons that week. Like, they are winning against teams that are playoff bound. And when you look at the rest of their schedule, they have a lot of winnable games. This week, they play the Bengals. I don't love that, going to Cincinnati with the way they're playing. But maybe they shock the world. I'll be rooting for it. I'll tell you that right now. But they get the Cardinals. They get a home game against the Broncos. They get a game against the Jets, the Titans. Like, the winnable games, not easy games, but winnable games. 2 games left against the Titans and 1 against the Colts. So when I look at this, could this team get to 10 wins? Absolutely.
Yeah, and they have Jacksonville coming back to their home stadium.
Yeah, which is going to be crazy. I mean, not only that, a couple slip-ups from the Jaguars, and they could find themselves, unlikely, but playing into a divisional race. Not just a playoff race, but a divisional race with the Jaguars, if they can continue to build momentum here.
Well, right now they're the number 9 seed in the AFC, so they're missing that. They're out, sitting on the bubble looking in. But like you said, they've already beaten the Jag once, and they've already beat the Steelers, who are 3-5 in the AFC. And they got the Bengals coming up this week, which is number 7. So right there could put them right into the playoff picture, considering what else goes on. I think they need to get better on the road, Tony. They're 1-3 on the road. Get that picked up, but at home, they're a force to mess with. Young rookie quarterback at home has no pressure on him, and I think what's also helping is this defense isn't a slouch either. Like, if he makes a little mistake, usually his defense is going to help him out, and that is a big thing for not just rookie quarterbacks, but for any quarterback in this league, that if they feel that they go out there and make a mistake, they don't have to put the whole team on their shoulders and carry it. But C.J. Stroud, woo! The Houston Texans, Tony, I don't know. We talked about it in the offseason. We said they were going to be a more competitive team under D'Amico Ryans. But I only think I only had them winning 5 games this year, and they're already at 4.
Yeah, I was completely wrong. I had them winning 2 games this year. They are way more competitive and better than I thought they would be, and I'm enjoying it. Like, it's a lot of fun. It'd be even better. Like, the thing is like, as well as the offense is playing now, they can get the run game going. If you can get Dameon Pierce, who I think is a legitimate 3-down back in this league, like, not maybe great of a pass catching, but he's capable of being that, and tremendous between the tackles. Like, it's fantastic. Will Anderson has been playing well this year. I think Jonathan Grignard, like, when you go to the opposite side of the football, like, they're there. Jerry Hughes is still being productive late in his career when I turn on the game. So, like, I look at it and I see a team that believes in it and is exciting. So, like, the last thing I'm going to say about this, my favorite story is he's embraced the role of being a leader, right? Like, I was listening to an interview where he said I didn't just want to be given captain. I wanted to earn it. And he's been having team dinners at his house where he just invites people in. And that's what it's about. Like, understand what it's going to take to build, to maintain the respect of your teammates. And that's how you build a long-lasting culture. So, fantastic. Applause. Texans fans, you should be thrilled. I think you got yourself easily a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Yeah, and he's only been sacked 18 times, which shows that he can move and like you always said, manipulate the pocket just a little bit, right, Tony? Is what a good quarterback has to do. Is because in the NFL you only get 2 points, average of 2.5, 2.7 seconds to throw the ball. So if he can move around, help that offensive line, which is a damn good offensive line already, had some injuries already this year, but I mean, you have to be impressed from a rookie quarterback out there with an over 100. I don't know exactly what his quarterback rating is, Tony, but it's over 100, and you don't really see that much from a rookie quarterback. And it's a top 10 offense right now, top 10 offense led by a rookie quarterback. And like you said, I mean, we knew who Nico Collins was, we knew who Tank Dell was, but it's not like these are big name guys. Noah Brown is remaking himself, and Noah Brown. This was a guy that I fell out of Dallas with Dak Prescott, and now he just found a new life here in Houston.
Yeah, it's really great to see him doing well too. He took a lot of blame for a couple of interceptions Dak threw last year. I thought was unfair. Let me ask you this, and then we'll get out of here. And everybody who watches this, put your comment, yes or no, to this question in the chat, and maybe even a final record prediction for the Texans. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you're listening to the audio version, come on over to YouTube MJT Football. Joe, last thing here, and this is for everybody watching. Do you think the Texans make the playoffs in 2023?
I don't think they do.
Okay.
I don't think they do.
You got me all fired up. I thought you were going to jump on the bandwagon and say that the Texans were making
I really do. I really want to, you know what? I really want to root for them, Tony. It would be one hell of a story, but I'm trying to look at the standings and be like, who can they knock out and be right there? And it's, I don't know, because your team, the Chargers, probably are going to sneak in and take that last spot from them. They're too good. But I really think the Texans are going to finish with 9 wins, which is unbelievable in their first year with DeMeco Ryans and C.J. Stroud, and only going up from here. So, I mean, I don't think if they make the playoffs, then shit, I'm going to root for them the whole way. But I'm not. I can't say they're a playoff team right now.
So there it is. Joe's got them narrowly missing the playoffs. What do you guys say out there? We appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us. Check out another video. I'd like to point and say that it's somewhere, but you already know YouTube at this point. Until next time, everybody. Peace.